Oh.
I'm serious now. Like, nobody can joke around anymore.
Yeah.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Right. God, I've been pestering Richard Airface the whole weekend with the newsletter. I'm so sorry about that. He's been trying to help me format it. Yeah, so thank you so much, Richard.
No, it's fine. I'm working on it more. Booty sent me Nick's interview, so I'll get that in. And there's another submission from Nick Velez, so that I'll get that in, and then hopefully we'll get the newsletter to you all just for a final look over. I have to proof it word for word, but we'll get you guys to look it over, and then we'll get it out somehow.
Mhm.
Are we still waiting for anyone?
Wayne,
By the way, maybe I can.
Wayne, you should have used Mickey Mouse bandages.
I haven't got any. This is Australia. We've got Skippy the kangaroo.
Well, kangaroo. Well, some kangaroo bandages then. That'd be fine. Hang on, I have to get my tea.
Are we waiting for anyone? Maybe I can message them personally. Like, hi Nick, joining the AGM.
I just see Emma is a possible. Xander and Thomas are the only ones we're waiting on at the moment.
Oh,
Is
where's
Emma?
Xander? Is he flying?
Maybe. And so once Richard's back, we might get started, I suppose. And if Thomas turns up, he'll turn up. Just share the screen.
I haven't pulled out my front runner.
Oh, I've got one.
Pulling out all the stops.
So Richard, where's Xanderina?
I don't know. I'm in Philly. He's in New York. Let me text him and ask him where he is.
He's your husband. You should know where he is every minute.
All right.
Got the locator bracelet on.
Richard, are you still fasting for you Yom Kippur?
No, Yom Kippur is all done, but I have to admit that
I don't want to hear.
yeah,
You went down to Jewish heaven.
well, you know what happened was I moved to Saudi Arabia for a year, and I realized I don't like religions because religions cause so many problems in the world.
Oh my God,
And
yeah.
I've decided I'm going to be. I'm historically and ethnically Jewish, but I'm not going to be following the. Do you think that God gave Moses gefilte fish in the middle of the desert and told them to wear black with black hats for 40 years while they wandered around while it was 120 degrees? You know, that's 15th century Poland, and they're speaking 15th century German, Yiddish. You know, it's medieval German. No, religions are a little silly, so. Watching what the Saudis are doing, especially to their women and to disenfranchised members of the community in the name of religion. And now what they're doing in Afghanistan just made me kind of not a fan of religions.
We just had a documentary last week on Jehovah's Witness.
Oh,
Oh my God, that's weird. That is.
Michael Jackson was one, but of course he was very normal.
Well, I'm sure lots of things are very weird.
By the way, who are we missing now? Nick Fellas? I just texted him with the link.
Xanderina.
Is
Xander,
Nick
Xander and
on?
Thomas.
Oh, is Nick on?
just us three.
No, not
I don't
Nick.
have Xander on my Facebook. So.
Chris, I don't see. Where's Nick? Not here, right?
Not here.
Right.
Let me text him too.
And Randy Height. Okay, Randy's there
on.
with the background,
Yes,
with the
correct.
rainbow. And Michael Ambrose, Alain, yep,
Yeah, Michael.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Don't worry, we've got enough people to start. Shall we start?
It's called a minion in Jewish. 10
Yeah.
Even if 3 people are gathered in my name, that'll be enough to start a meeting.
Oh, goodness
Anyway.
gracious.
Chris, as Booty said, we all of our thoughts go out to you and your family.
Thank you. So we've got the last minutes, I guess, was the AGM. So has everybody had a chance to have a look at those?
They get approved at the next AGM.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
there'll be action items out of them.
yes, that's right. So AGM actions. Ugh. What were the AGM actions then?
Oh, we're missing Kelvin also.
Yes. Just the newsletter. We probably need to talk about the AGM,
Yes.
given Gay Games has been postponed, and maybe put some suggestions out to clubs.
Chris, about an hour or maybe an hour ago, I sent out a projects list, and that
I've got that.
the
here.
AGM's on there.
Yep.
Things we've got to sort out.
All right. So we'll go through that list in a second then.
Sure.
Communications. So we've had a few communications committee meetings. I guess Thomas isn't here, but Martin and Woody are.
Yes.
According to Bloomberg, there are 42 major areas of.
Thanks, Wayne.
The DVD just started all of a sudden. I don't know how to get out.
So we've had a few communications meetings, mostly talking about the newsletter, but also Thomas has an Instagram plan that I was hoping he would tell us about. But I don't know, do either of you, Buddy or Martin, want to talk about what communications have been doing?
Yep. So basically, what we planned was that, whatever material that we have for newsletters would also be pumped to our social media. So with our newsletter, it's all in one go, but in social media, we can space it post by post, day by day, so it doesn't overwhelm the readers, and it will get pushed to whoever follows our social media. So if we do member interview, the interview will be posted on both Instagram and Facebook later on as well. It'll be the same material. We also look at the social media account used by a similar organization, the International Gay Rugby. They do a really good job with their Instagram and Facebook, in that they do repost members' posts, but we try to make sure that when we do it, we make sure that it's a balanced post. It's not just going to be like the giants in our club, in our associations. We know that 2 or 3 of our clubs have a really big membership, and then they have they're really active. But we want to make sure that the media coverage is balanced, so that in terms of region and also in terms of club members.
Yeah, so we want to make sure basically that the clubs we basically highlight don't sort of overlap, and we want to make sure that we really represent the diversity from bigger to smaller clubs, essentially, in when we basically promote the clubs or highlight what they've been doing on International Frontrunners, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Is that Thomas?
That's Martin.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Thomas is there as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I just.
Hi, Thomas.
I'm trying
Hello,
to work
how
out
are you?
who's talking. Oh, right.
So did you want to add anything to that? Sorry, Martin, did Wayne cut you off?
No.
No. So what I was basically saying is, yes, that we were looking at the best way of streamlining our social media platforms, and one of the things we've also decided is that we would primarily, in terms of communications, focus on Instagram and Facebook, and we've had we've sort of had an atmosphere where we've most of us agreed that Twitter is is one of those platforms that's rather tricky to get done right. So we were essentially saying that we are going to primarily try and focus on Instagram and Facebook, and those would then be our primary methods of communications with all the clubs around the world, and basically how to best streamline those to best communicate with the clubs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I switched on the Twitter the other day because we've had it for several years, but we haven't used it at all. So I went in there and had no tweets, no nothing. So I just went in and liked as many clubs as I could. So it's active, and I'll keep an eye on it. But I know that you guys not really keen on it, and it does only come down to a few % of the population that really use it actively. So it's not a big channel for us. So Thomas, did you want to have anything else to say about comms? We were just saying that we're going to discuss the newsletter in a second, but and that was mostly just talking about that Instagram plan you gave us the other day. Is there anything else you would like to add about comms?
No, it's just the core thing is just that we focus on the ones that we find the most interaction on, which is, as we said, Facebook and Instagram, and they devote our attention on that. And if we want to leap onto other social media platforms, we can do that in the future. But let's focus on getting the ones that work in motion.
Okay.
Am I right in thinking that the Instagram page is new, or?
No, it's been there for a couple of years. When Joseph took over, he had big plans for it, but he never posted. He only posted about 4 posts to it.
Oh, so that's okay. That's why I thought it was new. Okay. Right.
Yeah, Joseph had big plans, but then those changed.
He dropped off of social media shortly after he became our social media manager.
So would the Facebook presence be the existing Facebook group that Wayne started a few years ago?
Yeah.
About 10 years old now.
Yeah, so that's
with Instagram and Facebook, like, you can actually link Instagram and Facebook page, like, not group, so that like whenever you post something on Instagram, it gets republished into the page. So like instead of like doing 2 work, like, it gets transferred across. But like the one that Wayne is looking after is the group, and then this is the page.
Randy, ours are pages. The Central, Eastern, Southern, Western, Europe, they're all pages. And yeah, so it's just a distinction. Facebook created 10 years ago. They did a split and they said, we're now going to have pages and groups. And I'm not exactly sure why they did that.
yeah. So the page is this page here, and this is the one that you can post to with MailChimp or Instagram or whatever. You can't post to a group, because the group is a 2-way thing where people can collaborate and people can post stuff, and the administrators can post stuff, but the page is only for the administrators or for channel postings. So it's kind of a read-only thing, like a web page that's meant to be for the general internet. And then underneath that, you have your groups, which is where Wayne's group is. So we've put Wayne's group in here.
It's
so
our group.
Find it. Our group, yes. And there's events, and this is why Richard apparently it didn't work when I tried to post
at the AGM.
AGM, put the Facebook live, because it requires you go to a page, and so we hadn't really activated the page. It wasn't letting me log into it, but that we should test that. But it now should work okay.
Why did it work last year?
I can't remember what we did last year to make it work. I think we had this Facebook page, but maybe I got taken off as an admin or something.
It's on the group. Yeah, it might be that. By the way, I have one note. I saw one note from Emma that she's listening in while she's hiking. Hi, Emma. Enjoy your hike. And Nick just texted me, Nick Velez, that he's on He's on a bike race today, and so he can't join us. And he sent a picture of him on the bike race. So
Tell Emma she's not allowed to build any cans. Apparently, there's a big problem at the moment with national parks in America where
what
people
people are
have-
doing? What?
people are building little rock
Yeah,
pyramids.
cans. Well,
So they
Yeah.
take rocks from all over the environment and build these little pyramids as sort of say, I've been here. So,
Emma's in Canada, not the States.
Right.
okay.
they're
so
so
won't be a
much
problem.
more sophisticated.
I
It's
think-
like saying that you're in Australia, not New Zealand.
Oh my God, yes.
Emma
Worse.
just-
I'm just going to get up. I'm just going
You
to
would
get up.
never
for a
want to
minute.
be called an American, never.
No,
Emma-
no, it's an
Emma-
insult.
Emma
Big
just
insult.
Emma just texted. She said, "Ha ha! I'll leave no trace."
Okay. Now, something just fell over in the background. I think the dogs are in something. So I'm just going to take a short break. You guys talk through the agenda by yourself. Maybe Richard, you'd like to start talking about the Brooks stuff.
I can pick up the newsletter. So go ahead, Chris. Go check on what. Yeah, there you go. There's his handsome business picture. So working on the newsletter, Booty and I have been working on it. Booty has Nick's interview just got completed, and we'll get that in. Nick sent me a couple of more things for Eastern region. So what went out from Booty to everybody was should have only gone to the committee. So apologies on that. It should have only gone to the communications committee. So apologies on that. It's a work in progress, but we are getting there, and I think we're close to getting it out. If there are any more submissions, for example, Juan, do you have anything from Suriname?
Oh, we already put it in the MailChimp, the latest one. So yeah.
Oh, you do have something. Okay, I'll pull that onto mine then.
Thank you so much.
I'll go through page by page and see what you have that I don't have. So we will get this out hopefully in the next day or few hours, but depends on some of these late submissions. So guess that's it.
Richard, you got nothing from Perth?
No, we did.
Yep. We got I actually approached, yeah, exactly. So it's already been added to the MailChimp one.
Oh, okay.
But we might actually go to, like, say, move portions of it into PDF or completely to PDF, just because, like, say, the amount of images within this email has been like growing so much. It looks like it downloads well, like, you know, in the PDF format that Richard did. So I was wondering, like, you know, maybe you should go, well, like, you know, we should go either partially at least or fully into PDF, and then the MailChimp will be used as a tool to send.
It's one or the other, and PDF converts well to iPhone to smartphones, and PDF also converts well to Macs and PCs. So I think we go with PDF. It doesn't corrupt anything when it goes. It just makes the file smaller. I got it down to 10 meg or 11 meg, which is way less than it was. I think it was up to, like, I don't know, 30 meg at one point.
I like how Richard does it. Like, you know, it's very, yeah.
So I'll clean it up on PDF. Booty, I'll go through your what you just sent me, and I'll pull the Perth and I'll pull the Suriname, and I'll get that into the PDF version.
Thank you so much, Richard, for this.
Buddy, did you get a piece from Mexico as well?
Yes, so we managed to get a piece from Mexico. It's just a photo and, like, say, one sentence, but okay.
One I have it in there. If you, I send it to you, I send it to everybody. So I guess you didn't look at it. That Mexico is in there. If you look at your email from last night, like midnight my time, you'll see an email with the PDF, and just to take a look at it.
All right.
Okay, so it'd be great if I still need to proof it word for word, but it would be great if the regional reps would go through and tell me if they have any thoughts. Nick wants me to move the photos of New York of the clubs into the text or above the text, because he thinks it's confusing having it below the text, that it looks like it's part of the next club. I did that to allow him to have large photos. So I told him, fine, I'm doing that. And he's going to go with small photos. So, you know, it's a trade-off. So there you go. That's all.
Thank you.
One quick question on maybe borders on communication. It's just one thing I had looked at on our IFR website. You know that we have the bios of the steering committee that are out there. Those are not available on the generic IFR website. We just list the committee members. I was just wondering what people thought about having those available to the
hyperlinking to our bio. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I just wondered if people,
that.
people want to review to make sure it's safe, whatever they have in their bio or whatever. But it was just an idea as part of our, communication and being out there.
Sure.
And up to date, I guess.
Your favorite sex clubs and all that stuff. Yeah, we can ask Brad to hyperlink it. He's got a long list. He apologized this morning. He's wine crushing this morning. So, and he
got big feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we can ask him to do that. That's not a bad idea. What do you think, Chris? Work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll text Brad and ask him to add it to his to-do list.
Well, it's not important.
You got to select your name.
Oh, you've got to do both. I've got to do two things.
Yeah. So Alden, where is that thing? Where is it listed?
Under committee members. And then
bio. I see. Right.
Read the
yeah,
bio
there we go.
Oh, geez, that was years ago.
Yep.
Right. That's what I say. You may want to review it if we do make it available.
I think I was 40 when I wrote mine. 40 something.
God.
So yeah, there we are.
When you were young and pretty.
That's right. Oh, I did update it. I updated it last year. Yeah.
Definitely review it before we make them public to make sure you're happy with it.
Yeah. So can everybody knows how to do that? Go to that.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Is Thomas in there, by the way? Thomas
is there. What's your question, Booty? Thomas is there.
like this list doesn't have Thomas. Thomas Hastings. Thomas Hastings is not here.
The bios. Oh, Thomas, you need to add your bio, I guess. Oh, I think that. I think that Brad is behind. I think that Thomas is on his list. Because I wrote to him last week and said Thomas isn't included yet, and he said that he'll.
And he hasn't taken Joseph out.
Right. Just has to swap.
Yeah, just needs to swap. Yeah, Thomas in.
And you're in there, Booty. So.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Booty,
he'll get to it.
Booty, by the way, your emails are coming through not with your name, but all it says is communications officer or IFR communications officer. Do you want to put your name in there so that we know who it is? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking to Thomas or me?
When I'm getting the International Frontrunner, when I'm getting the newsletter, you wrote to me a note. You said this is the prototype, blah blah blah. And
yeah. That's because like when it's prototype, it is like yeah. But then it will be international frontrunners, and it wouldn't specify to a particular person.
Okay, because it said communications officer. So when you sent the first one yesterday or the day before, I didn't know who that was. I didn't know who that was coming from because it didn't have your name.
Is it coming through as this com@frontrunners.org?
I think that's the one that is used to register the MailChimp account. That's why okay, this is from, but yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we'll pick that up on the communications call.
Okay.
Don't need my address on the list. I just don't want my stalkers to find me. So,
is their address? Oh yeah, it is too. Yeah, no, just the bio, I think, is what Alden was saying there.
Right.
Alden, do you know if we can edit it ourselves or is it going to go via?
Yes. Yeah, it's under the profile option when you go in.
And okay, good, because I need to change my email address too. Yeah.
Thomas, you're assuming that one of the stalkers is not one of us. So
that's true. I know, but even another reason for not giving my address away.
I'm not sure I need to come 18,000 kilometers at the moment to stalk anybody, so you're probably pretty safe from us,
Sure.
Yeah.
Wayne and me.
Yeah, that information is only visible to the steering committee. It's just the bios I was talking about. So
Christmas is coming, so if people want to send Christmas cards, like, you know, you got the address.
Oh, that's religious.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. Oh, like
Holiday cards.
the holiday cards.
Holiday
You're on.
cards, yes. All right. So is that the end of the newsletter and communications? So we're going to send it out this week, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Oh, it'll go out. It'll go out.
Richard.
It'll go out this week.
Okay. Are you guys going to have another meeting, or are you just going to do it by email?
I think we're just doing
Me, Richard, and then like communications. Yeah, just communications.
I mean, the main question is what format it's going to go out in, and I think it just needs to go out in PDF and
Yeah.
in a full PDF file.
I agree. Like the PDF that Richard did is so much better.
And then we'll post it to Facebook, and we'll post it to our website. We'll have Brad put it on the website. Yeah. So I think we're good for this.
Can we put it in the files on the Facebook page, group page?
Yeah, we can.
Good. Yeah. Just for
We
his.
can try, I think.
Yeah, what do we normally do? So you go to the, would you post it?
I believe we'll worry about this post the
definitely.
meeting, but I believe I've actually put PDF files onto our Facebook pages with no issues. I seem to recall doing that with previous newsletters, so I don't think it'll be an issue. If we have to, we can do it as a link, and I think it'll.
I'll sort. Yeah. Let me know if you need it. Yeah.
CPDS are there. That's good.
Alrighty. Oops. Okay, so Brooks. Do we have a Brooks report?
Oh, Brooks. Well, we got the money, so that's really important.
and the check is cashed.
Alden cashed it. The money is I sent to you all our proposed application rules and format, and nobody responded, so I assume everybody's fine with it. Basically, we stole the format and the rules from what Brooks was using the last 2 years, and we kind of customized it to us. We are going to try to get that out in the next week, I think, because we'd like to start the process October 1st, and we'd like to start getting applications. We decided to make it a sliding scale of $500 to $2,000. I'd really like to keep it on the lower end so we can spread it around more. Some clubs might complain that previous clubs got 5,000, but we'll just say that that was Brooks and now it's IFR, and this is what we'd rather spread it around a little more. There was a question about preserving some of the money for our scholarship, but since Gay Games is now pushed off a year, I think we're not going to do that. Brooks has told me they are interested in continuing this program, and they are interested in participating in our scholarship, but a scholarship to the Gay Games. But you know, as you saw with Brooks, it took from January until September or August to get the check. So I can't guarantee anything for the future. It is what it is.
How much did we get? Just remind me.
We got
20,000
and they gave
US.
they gave 5,000 directly to Seattle, which is their hometown club.
Cool. Okay, I think I wrote back to you that it looked fine to me, Richard, but it was just going to be an awful lot of work for the committee that's got to process all the applications. So
well, I think what will happen is we'll process them by email a bit. We'll get people to weigh in when we get the applications to just kind of talk about it by email. And then on our next quarterly meeting, which we'll get, let me see, December 1st, I think I put the application process ends. So sometime in early December, we should have a steering committee meeting and make our decisions. But I think it'll come with advice. I'll give advice. Anyone else can weigh in, and I don't think it'll be that hard. And the applications are basically one-pagers, and we'll weigh them and we'll say, hey, who do we think deserves this? And if we have to, we'll reduce some. I put in there that it's our right to reduce their request. So if they request 2,000 and we think that their application is good but not worth 2,000, we'll tell them we'd like to do it, but we're going to give you 1,000. Who knows? Maybe somebody will say, we love your thing, we want to give you more. But let's worry about it when it comes.
And who's doing the reviewing?
Well, all of us, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. We'll do it by email. We'll get. I guess I'll get the app. Probably Alden and I will get the application, and we'll review it first to make sure there's nothing missing. If there's any I's that need to be dotted or T's that need to be crossed, we can go back to the clubs and we can say, hey, fill this out. Or if we have any suggestions to them, we might see one we like, but we don't think it's complete enough. But then I think what I'll do is I'll spread it around to the whole committee and everybody, the whole steering committee, and everybody can then weigh in. And then when we meet in person like this in Zoom, we can have maybe a half an hour discussion on which clubs are going to get the money.
And as a follow-up, we could put it in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever we've got. You can have a bit of a story as well.
Our international front runner satellite can disperse it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that seems okay to everyone?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
I had a thought. I might suggest if we are reviewing it as a committee that maybe we do some kind of numerical rating so that it would be easy to see rather than just comments, maybe a numerical value.
Sure.
So that you could see the top rated ones based on the number.
Sure, it's a good idea. And people can each weigh in on their own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, we can do that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Do we want to move on to Wayne's projects list then? Do you want to talk to this, Wayne?
Oh, that's just, I sent that out to you so you all are aware of what's kind of going on either directly with us or indirectly with us. So there's, as you all know, Hong Kong's been put back a year. And at 2 a.m. this morning, I was on a teleconference with them. There's going to be some small changes. There's pros and cons about the moving of the date. I will let you know that it was their decision. It wasn't pushed on by any other people in the world. So Hong Kong approached the Federation, and it's been going on behind the scenes for a couple of weeks. But anyway, they've come to an agreement. So that means that the meeting that's in Brighton in November, I had a meeting with Xander about a week ago. He and I believe Richard are going. Is that correct, Richard? And that's if you can still travel because of COVID. I'm not allowed to go more than 5 kilometers at the moment, so I could get to the airport, but I can't get on the plane. So I'll be attending all night. So don't talk to me during that period because I'll be as grumpy as hell because it's all nighters for us in Australia. We'll be finishing, and it's for 5 days, and we'll probably finish around 1 or 2 o'clock every morning for me. So Xander and I will need some sort of input, but we will need to provide it to you. The news from Hong Kong is there's a big problem. Mexico is not allowed to go to England. They're on the red list, which means, and we've got a ruling that unless all cities can be present, they will all have to do virtual presentations.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit complicated. However, Xander and I will take notes, and as we get closer and closer to the date and see the presentations, we will come back to you in what we would suggest would be our order of voting, and that's what we did 4 years ago.
Wayne, I have a question.
We gave you a 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Yeah, have they discuss doing a hybrid Zoom in-person thing? Because it seems to me that Mexico could probably have somebody from their embassy or consulate go.
No, they don't think it's fair. They want all the presentation people to have exactly the same situation. No,
That's a shame.
no difference. Yeah. Oh, I agree with that. I don't think anybody should have, just because Europeans can get their, you know, if Australia was bidding on New Zealand, they can't go either. So that would be the situation. So Xandra will actually be directly there. However, it could all be virtual. However, and the other problem is Mexico might be allowed in by then. They will know in a few weeks.
All right.
So that's Brighton. Scholarship will put off. We don't have to discuss that until next year. Now it's all kind of been put off. However, I have advised the Federation that we'll be looking at doing some similar things that we did 4 years ago. The rainbow flag gets delayed. We don't need to do anything on that. The Euro Games are in Netherlands. I don't even know. I can't remember the name of that town. I did write it down.
Nijmegen, I think.
Yeah.
Nijmegen.
I've asked many Europeans and they've never heard of it.
Where was it?
Nijmegen.
Yeah.
So anyway, in this mysterious.
Nijmegen is very famous for the Second World War.
So, yeah, one of the famous bridges.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is it, a bridge too far or something?
Yeah, that whole routine.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to decide what's going to happen with the IFR AGM this year, because Hong Kong obviously won't be hosting. So that's
well, the question I suppose is, do we put it open to the regional reps to advertise it with their clubs to see if anybody wants to host one, so that the North Americans can at least attend in person? Or do we want to say is that the reason that we did it with Copenhagen this year was because Nick was going to be there and Richard and Xander ended up being able to attend as well. But
and Juan was there as well.
But the reason is really to get the committee together in one place. So what's the most feasible thing for everybody the easiest place for everyone to get to, I guess, in the US, wouldn't it be?
We've got a year we've got, well, at least 8 months to decide, but if it's going to be a significant event, we need to make a decision fairly soon so people can start planning.
We had a nice turnout of European clubs there. If we have it in the US, I don't know that we'd have such a good turnout because you already have everyone there at Eurogames. So I'd probably just go for that. But I'll leave it up to everybody else.
Does anybody intend to go to the Eurogames next year from the committee?
I might go.
You might go? Okay. So we're kind of be in the same boat.
I can have some good resttoffel. Is it, Wayne, is that how you pronounce it?
Well, that's an Indonesian Dutch dish.
I know. I figured since you spend so much time in Bali, you'd know how to pronounce it properly.
Oh yeah, it's Richtafel or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's booty. That's booty.
Rice-toffel.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's booty. Right, booty. Of course, resttoffel. We have a
rice table.
We have a vegetarian resttoffel place in Amsterdam that is one of Xander's favorite restaurants.
Why bother?
We'll throw some kangaroo meat on yours.
Oh God.
Well, it's nice and close between.
I looked at it on a map. Yeah, is that
Dusseldorf, Rotterdam.
Yeah.
Where's Amsterdam?
There.
Anyway,
To the left.
Amsterdam.
There you go.
I'm pressing it on my screen for you, Chris, but you can't see it.
Yeah, I know.
I do have a question about this. Martin, are you going to pick up Eurogames and kind of coordinate publicizing it to front runners around the world?
Yes, I will do.
Which club is it? Our Amsterdam club? Which club is closest to there?
So it's the Dutch Rainbow Athletics, I believe.
Yeah. They've changed their
That's
name.
right.
Yeah, I read it in the newsletter.
Okay. It would be really, you're basically our ears on the ground there, our eyes on the ground there to make sure that they have the proper running events and that we get all of our members, and especially in Europe, but worldwide.
Yeah.
Because we did have actually a pretty nice turnout in Copenhagen from other countries, other continents also, particularly from North America. So, and Central America. Thank you, Juan. So that would be good for you to keep us informed. Maybe you should get yourself onto their committee or something.
Michael's back.
Oh, I was wondering what that noise was.
It's very early in Palm Springs.
Yes, thanks very much for joining. I was wondering about the time.
Yeah, sorry, my internet connection was unstable, so I had to leave and rejoin. Thanks.
Third world cities.
Okie doke. So yeah, maybe we'll target that one for the IFR AGM next year, unless anybody else wants to put their hand up for it. So that date and time, and we'll pick a date and time closer to that, with Martin maybe arranging a room or something. Are you going to go, Martin?
Yes, possibly. If I can.
All right. So let's put a pin in that and keep that in mind for next year.
Thomas, will you go also?
I am actually not sure yet. Depends on the collective front runners, kind of what the others at the club kind of think or feel. So, but yeah, it would be nice seeing people in person. I would have loved to join for Copenhagen. It just wasn't meant to be this year. So probably be a last minute decision.
Chris, should we talk about doing another 500 euro or whatever it was that we gave to them to Copenhagen? Should we offer that also to the next year's Euro Games? For a
discuss
social?
that later when we know how many are going, because I've heard some issues, but anyway, go on.
Have issues with the past one?
As in issues with numbers?
With the past one or the future one?
No, with the next one.
And whether they're running, whether the who's going to run a run for it? Is there going to be a charity run? Because I think they didn't have to be for this one, did there? Was this one the run that they organised? What's the run going to be for Euro Games? Let's have a look.
That's going to be, Martin's going to be our spy. To keep
Maybe if you can check into that for us, Martin, and see what running events are going to be held there, and maybe get back to us if there's an opportunity to sponsor them.
Martin wasn't on the committee last year. Martin, we donated 500 euros to the front runner social that happened in Copenhagen.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll get on that.
So there's a few runs and walks and things like that. So there we are. And does it work? No, it doesn't. So they need to update their data as well. What's that new site called? Wayne, what's the club called now?
Rainbow Athletics Amsterdam.
Rainbow something.
Rainbow Athletics Amsterdam.
So I might just need to let Brad know to update that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you go back to the projects page, Chris?
Yep.
Sorry. Scroll.
Oh, we're getting into the distant future now, Wayne.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Front Runners Day separately. I think the IFR probably proposed at World Pride in 2023 should be scrapped, because hopefully we're having the gay games in 2023, and that's more likely to have where we'll have a meeting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I'm at this stage, I'll let Sydney Front Runners know we don't have to organise anything. I have been approached from Hong Kong. They're wanting to know what we might like to do as a fun event at the track and field. Those of you that went to last few games, we've put on a fun thing. At Paris, it was a handbag throw. In other years, it's been a drag race. However, Hong Kong suggested perhaps a little black dress or a little red dress event. I did say to them, having a dress-up event means everyone's got to cart rubbish along, and it's just that little bit more awkward. And Richard, by the time he takes all his handbags and his makeup bags and everything, it's too much luggage for.
Well, I think red makes sense for two reasons. Number one, red China, it's their
Yes.
color. And number two, it makes it easier for them to see us to shoot us.
They did like the idea of a little red dress, but anyway, we need to discuss that. So that's another little thing we're working on.
Okay. Oh God, Euro games burn. We've already got one for 2023, I suppose. Of course we do.
Yes, because they were not holding the gay games. Now the Euro games always dismisses their Euro games when it's a gay games year. I don't know what they'll do in this case because it's.
Is it the same time as the gay games? It's both in November.
No, well, the gay games in Hong Kong is supposed to be in November. They haven't decided exactly yet whether it'll still be in November, but weather-wise, it will be in November. Euro games tends to be in summer, Northern Hemisphere summer.
Okay.
Winter, yeah. So, and the people that organize Euro games are on the federation and they'll make a decision at some stage. This is all just too recent. We'll have to can't guess.
Okay.
Euro Games 2023 has already an exact date. 2023 Euro Games have already an exact date.
Yes, but
It's
they might.
July.
They have a rule that they don't hold the Euro Games in a gay games year. So it's
So Euro Games 2023 has already got a date.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. But they might have to cancel it or change it back a year. Okay. It's all too soon. Everything's happened too soon.
Well, they've got a website. It's definitely happening.
Well, yes, but they didn't know that gay games is going to be.
Wayne is saying they might postpone it because there is nothing for 2024 at this point. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So Baron might say we're going to move ourselves to 2024.
And they have to make a decision. The European Gay and Lesbian Sports Federation, which is very large, have yet to make a decision on what they'll do. As I said, they have a rule. They have their own rules that they won't host an event when there's a gay games.
Okay, well, let's see how they go.
And the Netherlands one was going to be so small, they expected it to be a very small event, and that was the whole idea.
Just
going to be really
walk Bart for a short walk.
So it might be big. It might be big. So Wayne, your World Pride is also next summer. Is that right?
It's in 2023. Yes.
When?
Well, the year after. Yeah.
February. It's the same time as Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. It's on the same time. It goes for 5 weeks.
Okay, so it's literally right after, just a couple months after Gay Games.
Yeah.
Not long. Yeah. So that's why I don't think we should. Originally, we asked for the AGM to be there.
Wait.
All pre-COVID.
No. February 23, February 22. It's before Gay Games. Everything moved around.
Yes. Now it is. Sorry. Yes.
So basically, you're going to have World Pride in Sydney in February. You're going to have Euro Games in Netherlands in July, and then you're going to have Gay Games in November in Hong Kong. It's a busy year.
It's a big gay year for travel agents.
Well, we can spend some of that money we've saved up over the last 3 years. So 2 or 3 years of not traveling anywhere. People will be very keen to get out on holiday, I'm sure. Okay, is that the end of your report, Wayne?
Apart from the Front Runners Day.
Yes, we can remind everybody of that when time comes and put some stuff out on Insta and that sort of thing.
I've done a paper for you.
Oh,
you got it there. Yeah. Or is that my? No,
that's your
me.
project's paper.
Yes, yeah, this is the proposal to have it on the,
Did you send that to me?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Went out to the
Oh, there
steering committee, yeah. On the 15th of June, which is Patricia Nell Warren's birthday. For those of you that don't know, she's the author of The Frontrunner. I've written a whole thing there. I would like to see it as a day of celebration of acknowledging our wonderful organization that we belong to. We don't really do anything apart from come together for continental or international games. I would like to see that we could, get some stories from people about how wonderful they're, what they've got a lot from the organization. In my 32 years as a front runner, I've heard numerous stories about how people are so happy to be in front runners. I would like that with an opportunity for us to celebrate and to acknowledge our clubs and to get some stories out there about how good everything is to them.
So Wayne, what's the date again?
The 15th of June is when she was born.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be compulsory, but we would like, everybody to get involved.
That's a great idea.
I don't see much money being involved at all. Perhaps a couple of $100 maybe for advertising, but I'd be looking at doing it via within our own internal communication systems.
Wait,
Yeah.
who's doing that? Who's the other entity?
I don't know
Wayne?
what you mean.
You said there's a couple. I thought you were talking about somebody else is involved. Is it you're talking about just us, right? Okay.
Yes,
just us.
yeah.
Okay,
I
so
meant a couple of social media processes.
I got you. So one possibility, given that Front Runners was founded in San Francisco, and we have really strong connections with the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, I bet I can get the day to be declared in San Francisco to be Front Runners Day, Patricia Nell Warren / Front Runners Day, or something like that. So.
Yeah.
You can get Mayor Quimby to stand up and say, I declare today to be International Front Runners Day.
We're doing Simpsons. We're doing Simpsons now.
Yeah, well, that's what it sounds like. It's not a bad idea. That's a really
Richard,
good idea.
I did have that in mind, and I would hope that eventually we can get listed on some international, it's like International Pancake Day, or, people with left hands.
What do we have? International Batman Day today.
Yeah. It'd be good if we could get that on there.
Well, and Patricia Nell Warren lived in LA. We could ask LA front runners if they have a connection to get LA to declare the same. But I think we need a few months lead time, but I suspect we could get the Board of Supervisors in San Francisco is pretty compliant about doing days like this that will appeal to people. So I think we can do that.
That would be great. And who knows, lots of other clubs might be able to have that opportunity to do such things like that. I would like to see them probably have a run / walk and then do something.
Well, I know Perth Front Runners just had a book club thing where they all sort of went to the pub and discussed the Front Runner after they'd read it or something. So
yeah. So that's a Wednesday this year, the 15th. So
yes, I know it's
right. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah. So that's why I wrote, I think, in here thereabouts. So whatever.
Wednesday evening run. Wayne, do you want to coordinate and get reminders out to people to reach out? Maybe we go to all the clubs and we say, hey, can you reach out to your city councils and maybe create, and I think come up with some catchy name that incorporates both Patricia Nell Warren and Front Runners, or the Front Runner, or however you want to do it. Because I think the idea would be to coordinate
Harlan's Day.
What's that?
Well,
you haven't read the book?
Oh, sorry.
It's
like the coach's name.
Coach is Harlan.
but then you're getting a little too in the weeds. People won't get that as much. But I think
right.
if you want to come up with one name that we would tell our clubs, that's if they're going to present this to their city councils or board of supervisors, that we try to have the same name all around the world, maybe.
That would be nice, I think, yeah.
We could get a lot of publicity from it too, and it would be good. It would be good PR, good for our communications committee.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I have bought the book, so it's good as reading it.
Have you got a Bible?
That many.
You've been stealing the Gideons.
Oh yeah, no, I've got a few of those, but anyway. Okay, so does that bring us to the end of our court proceedings? Is there anything else that we have to cover?
I'll just let you have an update on Hong Kong,
Mm.
separate to projects. Hong Kong are now looking, because they've got an extra year, at, if you remember at the AGM, they were talking about some of the venues are public, as in owned by the government, and some are privately owned or university owned. They're now going to look at moving all events to university or private establishments and keep away from the government, because the government won't let them book it until it's 6 months beforehand. And Hong Kong people are not enjoying that, and the unknownness. So, they're looking at moving the venues, so we might have totally new venues. Although my understanding is track and field was at a university site. So more news obviously will start to filter out, sorry, in the next few weeks.
Okay. All right. So any other business?
I think there was like an item that says end of year newsletter. My question is, how frequently do we aim to publish newsletter? Is it like, say, twice a year?
I think everybody's probably been a bit exhausted by this one. Do we want a Christmas one, or do we want to do push forward to the next year?
Let's have an end of COVID one.
Yeah, is it going to be like, say, once every 3 months? Because I think that's a lot.
No, I think we could probably push it forward to I don't know whether we want to.
GM.
Let's plan on a spring edition. This will be the fall edition.
Spring in what year?
I agree. That's a good idea, Richard. Yeah. So if we are aiming to publish in March, that means like we're starting to gather the materials in February, so to give us enough lead time and publish by March.
Yeah, your spring, our fall.
Richard, this is the spring edition that you're working on right now.
your spring, where the water goes the wrong way. I've also watched The Simpsons.
September and March. Okay.
Have we got The Simpsons yet here, Chris?
Episode Disney Plus. We're on season 30 or something. I don't know. It's been going forever.
1989.
Does feel like a very long time. Yes. All right. Shall we leave it there then? Is everyone happy?
Fabulous. I'm gay.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you on the email, and I'll mail the recording around to everybody.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye,
Very
Emma.
good. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.